It is Monday, April 20th. Putin is starting another week of work in the Kremlin. Today we have the usual Kremlin schedule. There are meetings and internal meetings. The head of state has no plans for any major public events. The head of state will receive a report from the governor of the Penza region, Oleg Melnichenko. It is a traditional work with regional heads. The president deals with the subjects of the Russian Federation. Today I have a concise message. What questions do you have? Can I ask a question on the Komsomolskaya Pravda? Yes, please. The Progressive Party of Bulgaria, headed by ex-President Rumen Radev, leads the parliamentary elections. He has already announced his victory. How does the Kremlin evaluate this victory? How does the Kremlin evaluate the panic in Europe? Radev is called the Trojan horse of Putin in Europe. We are looking at the positive statements of Madiara. How do we feel about this trend? I understand that we feel good about it. But maybe it will change the European climate. It is not very comfortable for Russia. Thank you. I think it is too early to make such broad conclusions about the change in the European climate. We see that Brussels is making statements of a completely different nature. But we are, of course, impressed by the words of Mr. Radev, who won the elections of some other European leaders, about the willingness to solve problems through a pragmatic dialogue with the Russian Federation. We are impressed by this. We welcome this. We also believe that any contradictions that exist, any inconsistencies of mutual interests, can and should be resolved only at the negotiating table. Russia has never refused a dialogue. We, on the contrary, are looking for a dialogue. But most often it is not found in a mutual agreement in Europe. Any more questions? Thank you very much. Are there any more questions for today? Good afternoon, this is Reuter. Yes, please. Thank you, Dmitry Sergeyevich. The question is whether Russia is participating or plans to participate as an intermediary in the process of resolving the Iranian conflict. Given that the Armenian Strait is closed, there are concerns that the truce may be interrupted between Iran and the United States and Israel. Thank you very much. We see that the situation in the Gulf is still very fragile, almost unpredictable. But despite this, we hope that the negotiation process will continue and that it will be possible to avoid a return to the forceful version of the development of events. In this case, we are ready to cooperate with the United States. I would like to thank you for your questions. Could have much more negative consequences for the security in the region and for the global economy. At the moment, the Russian Federation is not an intermediary in the negotiation process. As we have repeatedly stated at various levels, of course, we are ready to provide any required assistance in order to reach a peaceful settlement and to reach an agreement. Any more questions? Then we will finish. Let's have the final question, please. The French agency. At the end of the week, the U.S. Ministry of Finance sanctioned the sale of Russian oil. What will be the Kremlin's response? Russia remains a responsible and very important player in the energy markets of the world. The markets are experiencing bad times now, and of course it is very difficult not to take into account and not to pay attention to the Russian volumes.